embark on a 10-day journey through Greece's Dodecanese islands, where centuries of culture, history, and island life unfold across the southeastern Aegean. Our route balances archaeological remains with scenic landscapes, active adventures, and distinctive landmarks. Greece is known for its abundance of history and beaches, and the number of sites can feel overwhelming. But this tour encourages a selective approach, leaving space not just for exploration, but also for moments to simply sit back and enjoy a sunset. This is a very adaptable itinerary, so discover this part of the Greek islands in the way that works best for you. Let's get going! We'll spend day 1 in Samos, after a short flight from Athens. Begin at the UNESCO tunnel of Eupalinos in Pythagoreio. This 6th century BC aqueduct demonstrates ancient engineering ingenuity, with precise alignment achieved from both ends of the tunnel's excavation. After spend some time wandering the town, the birthplace of Pythagoras. Then, drive to the monastery of Panagia Spiliani, built around a cave with a chapel set into the rock. It offers elevated sightlines across the surrounding landscape. Move on to the Heraion of Samos, where massive column bases and foundations mark a major sanctuary dedicated to Hera, Queen of the Gods. It was once among the largest temples in the Greek world. The nearby archaeological museum displays statues, inscriptions, and other artifacts recovered from the site. About 30 minutes north is Kokari, a charming destination with masonry houses, shaded squares, and striking waterfront buildings. Walk along the marina with its fishing boats and seaside tavernas, and maybe try some of Samos's famous Muscat wine. Time permitting, drive about this small island and acquaint yourself with some of the other welcoming towns, such as Kontakaika or Karlovasi, with the Potami waterfalls. You can catch the ferry to Patmos either in the evening or early in the morning. On day 2 we'll take in Patmos, the holy island of the Dodecanese. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, known for its deep spiritual history, medieval architecture, and tranquil beaches. For today's excursions, you can walk or take taxis. Start at Skala, the island's harbor community, lined with cafes and artisan shops. From there, follow one of the marked walking routes towards Kora. This fortified settlement was built around the 11th century monastery of St. John the Theologian. As you enter the courtyard, notice the thick defensive walls constructed to protect the site from pirate attacks. The monastery museum showcases objects associated with centuries of Orthodox pilgrimage, as well as religious manuscripts and art. Stroll through Kora's maze of alleys where whitewashed houses display carved doorways, and interior courtyards are hidden behind wooden gates. Then, head to the Cave of the Apocalypse, a chapel established around the grotto where the Apostle John is believed to have heard the word of God in 95 AD. Today it's a major Christian pilgrimage site. Continue to the windmills of Patmos, restored 16th century mills now serving as an educational site that blends heritage with sustainable energy. For day 3, travel to Leros, another island easily navigated by taxi. Begin in Laki, where wide avenues and geometric buildings reflect 1930s Italian-era planning, distinguishing it from typical Greek island architecture. Go to Aegean Marina and admire the harbor front, with its neoclassical houses and fishing boats that highlight the town's maritime function. Check out the Church of Aegean Marina, known for its bell tower and prominent position overlooking the water. Then, climb the stone pathway to the Castle of the Knights of St. John, a fortified complex established to control sea routes, with walls, towers, and courtyards still intact. From the upper terraces, you'll see the natural harbors that made the island strategically valuable. On Leros, there's a number of Greek Orthodox churches that are of interest. Notable ones include Panagia Kavouradena, built into rock, Agios Isidoros, reached by a causeway, and St. John the Theologian with its distinctive architecture. These sites combine distinctive settings with local religious importance. In the morning on day 4, travel to the island of Kos. Start in Kos Town, which is an excellent place to experience by bike. Begin at the ancient Agora of Kos, a large marketplace with columns, cobblestone streets, and 2,000-year-old foundations. Continue to the Roman Odeon of Kos, an impressive marble theater restored to display stepped seating and decorative masonry. It's still in use today. Next, explore the Casa Romana, a reconstructed Roman villa with mosaics, frescoes, and interior courtyards typical of elite houses from the 2nd century AD. Also see the 15th century Nisyros Castle, a defensive stronghold. In front is the Hippocrates plane tree, under which the father of medicine is said to have taught his students. Head to the Asclepieion of Kos, a sanctuary dedicated to the healing god Asclepius, where physicians practiced medical treatments more than 2,000 years ago. Cross the 3 stone terraces where temples, treatment rooms, and teaching areas formed an early medical center. Depending on time and interest, the Antimachia Castle is another fortress that's inland, providing a different perspective of the island. Or, head to the ruins of Paleopili Castle, a medieval fortress erected above an abandoned Byzantine village, with spectacular vistas over the Turkish coast. On day 5 we'll do a day trip from Kos to Nisyros, a small volcanic island. You'll arrive at Mandraki, where white houses cluster beneath a hilltop monastery. Look up for a marvelous view of the ancient Acropolis, with its massive defensive walls. Make your way to the Nisyros caldera, a volcanic basin with rocky slopes and visible volcanic discharge. Head down to the Stephanos crater and cross its floor, where steam vents release sulfur gases from underground chambers. Stop at Nikia, a high village on the rim of the caldera. Its narrow streets and winsome churches are worth visiting. Look for the Porta, a mosaic-covered square considered one of the most beautiful in Greece. Another must-see is the Panagia Spiliani Monastery, built inside a cave above Mandraki harbor. Spend the balance of the day discovering Mandraki's charms, or walking the black pebbles of Holaki Beach. For day 6 you'll want to fly to the next destination, which is Karpathos. Rent a car and drive north along a coastal road with continuous sea views, cliffs, and sharp turns. Stop at designated viewpoints overlooking bays and offshore islets, and marvel at what you see. With only 1 day available in Karpathos, head to Olympos, a remarkably preserved, formerly isolated mountain community known as a living museum of Dodecanese culture. It maintains unique traditions, a distinct local dialect, and a rare living matriarchal social structure. You'll see residents wearing customary dress in public squares as they go about their business. Spend some time wandering this exceptional town. If your schedule allows, move on to Pagadia, Karpathos' main hub. There's several interesting churches you can tour. Or see some of the neighboring archaeological remains, including a basilica, Poseidon's cave, and an acropolis. Karpathos also has a dense network of mapped trekking trails of varying distances and terrains. In the evening or early in the morning, fly to Rhodes. Day 7 begins in the medieval city of Rhodes, a UNESCO-listed fortified town surrounded by massive 14th-century defensive walls. Enter through D'Amboise Gate, with its unusual triple-gate system and winding paths designed to slow attackers. Continue along the cobbled Street of the Knights, lined with churches and refurbished inns like the Inn of Provence, once home to European knight delegations and now used as government offices. Next, tour the Palace of the Grand Master of the Knights of Rhodes, a fortress residence rebuilt in the 1930s using medieval foundations and decorated with Roman mosaics brought from Kos. Then, explore the Archaeological Museum of Rhodes, located inside the former Knights' Hospital. It displays statues, pottery, and other artifacts from ancient Rhodes. Finish the afternoon at Mandraki Harbor, where 3 medieval windmills and the fortress Fort St. Nicholas guard the marina entrance. For dinner, head to a local taverna and try a plate of pitarudia, a traditional Rhodian dish made with chickpeas, herbs, and onions. We begin day 8 by exploring the historic settlement of Lindos, located about 50 kilometers south of Rhodes Town. Park outside the village and follow the pedestrian route through whitewashed houses decorated with black and white pebble mosaics, known as choslaki. Climb the stone path leading to the Acropolis of Lindos, where Doric columns mark the remains of the 4th century BC temple of Athena Lindia. The fortified walls constructed by the Knights Hospitaller during their occupation of the island are visible from the summit terraces. Then, roam the compact lanes of Lindos, where captains' houses display elaborately carved doorways from the prosperous maritime era of the 17th and 18th centuries. Proceed to St. Paul's Bay, a sheltered inlet known for its distinctive curved coastline and turquoise water. Stop at the elegant Church of Panagia, recognized for its ornate bell tower and detailed 15th-century frescoes. Take some time to amble along eastern coastline scenery and trails, taking in terraced hillsides, exquisite chapels, and the sparkling Aegean Sea. On day 9, we'll head to the rugged western part of Rhodes, where high-up fortifications and inland surprises await us. Drive toward the dramatic ruins of Monolithos Castle, a 15th-century stronghold positioned on top of a steep rock outcrop overlooking the water. Climb the stairway carved into the rock to reach the chapel of Agios Panteleimon, which occupies the summit of the fortress site. Then, go to the hilltop remains of Cretinia Castle, constructed in 1472 to monitor shipping routes passing along the coast. After, head to Embonas on the slopes of Mount Adaviros, where winding streets host family-run shops selling local wine. For a different type of excursion, the Valley of the Butterflies is a serene, shaded nature trail filled with unique Rhodian butterflies. Enjoy this enchanting landscape with its stunning wooden bridges, dense vegetation, clear ponds, and many waterfalls. On your last day, take the ferry to Symi Harbor, where colorful neoclassical houses rise in tiers above the waterfront. Roam the quay lined with fishing boats and sponge shops. Don't miss the narrow streets behind the port with their many squares, stairways, and artisan shops. Go to the Kalistrata, a long stone staircase connecting the harbor to the upper settlement. Climb past historic houses and viewpoints overlooking the port. As you reach the upper town, stroll through quiet lanes lined with churches, courtyards, and restored mansions. Then, board a boat to the monastery of Archangel Michael Panormitis, considered a guardian of the sailors. It's an Orthodox pilgrimage site with a Baroque bell tower, inner courtyard, and 2 museums. Return to Rhodes to begin your journey home. After 10 days on a magical trip through the Dodecanese, you've gained a deep connection to this dazzling southeastern Aegean region. You've traced layers of history from ancient Greece to medieval strongholds, while hiking volcanic terrain, exploring villages, and visiting centuries-old monasteries and harbors. Each day offers a distinct perspective, creating an immersive experience that goes beyond sightseeing and reveals the heritage, landscapes, and daily life of these remarkable Greek islands. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with others who prefer in-depth and realistic itineraries and manageable pacing. See you in another Travel Top 10 video where we'll spend 10 days in a different region of Europe.